Hi there, it's Melanie Fitz-Mayers from Eden Mayers HR Consulting. HR Consulting to keep you out of trouble and delivering your passion. So it's Thursday, which means it's blog day or vlog day. Hi, I'm in a slightly different location today. So it being school holidays and running around with the kiddies, today I'm in my mother's spare room rather than being in office space. But I definitely wanted to talk to you today some more about leadership. So this month we've been focusing on leadership because it's what I'm hoping a quieter month for you. So you've got some chance to do some self-development and look at where you want to be. So this is week 3 in our focus on leadership, and because this is an awesome month, it has 5 Thursdays in it, which means that you get 5 different videos from me this month. So I wanted to talk to you about how to build your leadership muscle. And you'll see that the tagline that I've put on this video is, are you sure you want to be a leader? Now, in the beginning of this month, when I spoke to you about leadership, I said every entrepreneur is a leader, because in order to be an entrepreneur, you have to lead someone to believing in your vision, believing in your dream, believing that your business has the legs to make money and make a difference and do all the other great things you want to do. So even if you don't feel like you're a leader, you really are, because you've taken something, you've taken this small little idea, this small little egg, and you've grown it into your enterprise. So no matter what, you are definitely a leader. And you know, when you have to tell someone and sell someone on your vision, especially when it's your family or your friends, who can often be the toughest people, you really have to be quite resilient, because normally a lot of people say, I know for me, what, you're going to give up your good high paying job and run your own business? Are you sure that's what you want to do? Is it a good time to do it? Look at the marketplace. And you know, so you have to be strong, you have to have great will. So you know, it's a tough life being an innovator, let's be honest. Taking risks, daring to be different, all of those things, you know, the majority of people in the world don't do that. The majority of the people of the world look for a good job with a good employer, where they can earn good money, and they have a good work-life balance, and they don't have the stresses and strains of managing a business. Now, I looked at definitions of entrepreneur and I found 2 that I thought were perfect. So one of them, bear with me, I'm looking at my laptop here, is a person who sets up business or businesses taking on financial risk in the hope of profit, or one who organises, manages and assumes the risk of a business or enterprise. So that's what you are as an entrepreneur. You are a risk taker. So yay to all the risk takers out there. Now, how do you build your mindset? How do you build your muscle so that you can take these risks and you can buck the trends and you can go with your gut, with the planning and the research, of course? And my answer to that is resilience. Now, when I looked at the definition of resilience, it talked about the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Now, resilience, even though it's a word I've heard a lot, really interestingly, sort of a few months ago, well, actually probably nearly a year ago now, when I was really looking at pushing the business and getting out of my permanent role to be in a full-time CEO, one of the things I was doing through the business courses is they spoke about looking at your brand and your vision and your values. And they asked us all who were on the group to go to, you know, friends, colleagues, clients, and ask them to give 3 to 5 words that they would use to describe you. And I must have asked about, I don't know, 15 people or something. And 90% of them came back with the word resilient. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Those were not in the 5 words that I used to describe myself. But it was interesting, and when I kind of delved a bit deeper and spoke to a few people to get a bit more of an understanding of why they thought that, I could kind of see where it's coming. I could kind of see where they were coming from. But you know, resilience is all about how you deal with the challenges. So you know, whether or not you get knocked down and you stay down, or whether you get back up, pretty much, and how long it takes you to get back up. So do you sit for a day, or do you sit for an hour, or do you sit for a month? Like, what do you, how do you deal with those things? And I think that what I realised was that I've built my resilience throughout my whole life, and I've built my resilience through you know, I've done lots of things competitively. So I've played, you know, instruments, and I've been in sport, and I've done all of those things. And you don't always come first, and you don't always pass the exam, and you don't always um, get the response that you would like. And so I've had to build my resilience. I've had to build up my strength. I've had to build up the ability to kind of shrug it off. And to be fair, I'm one of those people that when someone says you're not going to succeed, it just pushes me harder. I remember a mate saying they were going to pass their driving test before me, and that wasn't going to happen. I was going to do mine first. And I remember you know, having to talk to hundreds of people, and people saying, are you sure you're all up to doing that? And thinking, actually, even if my knees are shaking, my knees are knocking, I'm going to do it, because for me, nothing's a bigger challenge than someone saying to me, no. So I just thought that it would be good to share some tips. So while we talk about leadership, and, you know, last week we spoke about, you know, listening and empathy, which are definitely good things, definitely key things that you need to have as a leader. But also as a leader, you have to be able to stand up, stand alone, which can be a really lonely place. You have to stand up, stand alone, and really push for the things that you want. And sometimes you have no cheerleaders. You have to be your own cheerleader. You have to speak into yourself. You have to cheer up yourself. So I just thought I'd share a few tips around what you could do in order to build your resilience as a leader. So for me, and these are you know, things that I've done, and things that when I speak to clients and other leaders that I really respect, I find that they all do. So number one is start your day right. So I find that, you know, all successful leaders have a really great routine, and I definitely find that the tone that I set my day with sets up the entire day. So if I oversleep and I'm up and running around, then I become a shouty mummy with the children, and I get a bit annoyed with anything, and I get very sensitive, and I can be like that the entire day. So my morning routine is I get up, I don't know, somewhere between 5:15 and 5:30, and I go for a run for, depending on how much time I've got, somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour. And that is really great me time, clear headspace time. I do sometimes run with a friend, but even then it's good because I'm talking to someone else, and I'm not mummy mode or boss lady mode. I'm just Mel, and I can just have a general chat, and I can download, and I can clear my mind, and, you know, and I run outside, so it's just beautiful. Even when it's raining, it is still just beautiful to see all of God's handiwork, and I just love it. So I do that, and that always also wakes me up in the morning. I'm not really a morning person. I'm a fake morning person, is what I say. I do things in the morning because it works, but in the main, the exercise is the thing that gets my blood going, gets my mind working. After like my first 10-15 minutes of running, then I'm awake. Until then, pretty much I'm still asleep with my eyes open. The other thing that I do is I read a daily devotional, and I pray. So my faith's very important to me, and having that clarity of mind, clarity of thought, starting in the right place, putting all the right blocks together, really helps me to start my day well. And then it means that regardless of what emergency might happen, or who might cut me up when I'm driving on the road or whatever, I'm still fine. I'm still fine when I sit down in my office. I'm still fine to get my work done, and I find it really much easier to focus on the things that I need to do when I've done that. So when I've run, and when I've had my daily devotional, and I have prayed. So that's number one, start the day right. 2 is keeping a positive attitude. Now, I remember way back when I was at uni, in my summer holidays, I worked for an engineering company, and I answered their phone. So I had to do a lot of, you know, customer service calls with irate people whose machines had broken down, so they had staff not, you know, twiddling their thumbs waiting for an engineer to come, and obviously theirs was the most urgent, and the engineer needed to be there now, regardless of where they were. And one of the things that I learned there was, actually, if I could maintain a positive attitude and not get upset and angry, they would calm down. I'd be able to solve their problem, and they would be a happier customer. So I found that actually it was easier to, rather than to put myself in their position, understand why they're upset, rather than taking it personally that they might be a bit shouty, and remaining calm and remaining positive and smiling, the shouting tended to stop, the volume of their speech tended to go down, and they tended to be more cheerful. So I definitely would say if you can keep a positive attitude, even when things aren't going perfectly, it really does help you to stay on track and be a good leader. The other one that I struggled with for a while was not taking things personally. Now, your business is your baby. I always say my business is my baby. It's named after my baby. And so all my blood, sweat, passion, tears that have gone into it, obviously everything feels personal to me. And, you know, if someone says, no, I don't want to work with you, or if they think, or maybe you should deliver it in a different way, I would take it personally. And I've learned over time to take a step back, to really think about what that person's saying. So it may well be that they've got a good idea, because often the people you work with do have good ideas. You're not the only one with good ideas. But also, everybody has an opinion, and you can't please everybody, which is my next point. So sometimes all you have to do is say, thank you, that was a great suggestion. I'll think about it. And that's it. You don't have to do anything else with it. At the end of the day, you are the boss. It's up to you whether to go with it or not. And so at the end of the day, regardless of their opinion, it's still your choice. But I do think a good thing to remember is that your business isn't you. So often we associate how people feel about our business for the way they feel about us. And you need to remember that you are an individual and your business is an entity. So while someone might not be positive about your business, it doesn't mean they're not positive about you. So don't take it personally. Remember that your business provides a service. And there are some people that will want it and some people who won't. And it doesn't mean that those same people might not want you if we're talking about friends or family. So try not to take it personally. And my final point is, remember, you can't please everyone. As a business owner, obviously you want to please your clients, you want to attract your ideal clients, and you want to keep your team happy and motivated, and that's all really good. But you know, the good and the bad thing about people is everybody's different, which means everybody's motivated differently and everybody has different expectations. So you have to understand that if the majority of people are happy, that's probably enough. And you have to understand that, you know, there's that saying, you can please some of the people all the time, or all of the people some of the time. Someone will always not like what you've done, or someone will always want something to be done very differently. You just have to get to grips with that. You know, nobody likes you all the time. Obviously, I work in HR, so I'm used to, you know, clients might love me, but their staff might not. If I'm doing a restructure and they're going to be made redundant. Or on the other hand, if there's a grievance and it's found that the manager did something wrong, they might not like me very much because I'm standing up for the staff member. It really depends. So you have to remember that, you know, you can't be a people pleaser. You have to do what's right. And if you do things with integrity and honesty and transparency, that is the thing that matters. So just to reiterate, the 4 things that you should do on a daily basis to help you build your leadership muscle are start your day right, keep a positive attitude, don't take things personally, and remember, you can't please everyone. Now, if you try these tips to build your resilience, you'll find you'll be less stressed and you'll be more focused. So I'm also going to put the link to the blog on this subject in the captions below, so you can have a look at that and read through and see some more about what I have to say about building your resilience. But apart from that, have a fantastic day, and I will see you all again real soon.